veo más activo de lo normal. Generalmente en la vuelta de reconocimiento los pilotos suelen ir tranquilos reconociendo la pista, pero Jorge...
To the MXGP of Spain. We are here at the circuit of Into Xanadu Arroyo Molinos, the magnificent capital city of Madrid, about 30 minutes north of where we are today. It's been a hot weekend, although over the last hour or so temperatures have cooled, but the action on track has remained pretty hot. This is the MXGP of Spain. My name's Paul Malin. Thanks for joining us once again. This is the final race of the day, MXGP Race 2, 30 minutes plus 2 laps. In a moment, we'll see what happened in Race 1. But we've been coming here since 1962 to the Spanish Grand Prix. We've had 103 winners now, with the victory from the MX2 Grand Prix just a moment ago. And we've got a packed house over there. The grandstands are full again because we've got Jorge Prado and Ruben Fernandez, the two home riders who will be looking. And they've got Jorge Zaragoza as well as another Spaniard. But the two riders, both on factory teams, looking to do damage in this race if they can. There's a look at the racetrack, 1,660 metres long. It's a dirt circuit, clay-based, hard, slick in places as well. The ruts are getting harder. Jeffrey Hurling's not here this year, but he was victorious last year. And Maxime Renaux, who was victorious in MX2 last year, will be looking to try and make it a double back-to-back in MXGP if he can. You'll see why in a moment, but nice sombrero, sir. Although, if you're wearing that kind of T-shirt, you're obviously in the wrong crowd, my friend. Tarmac racing that way. Joking aside, of course, everybody welcome. But the Spanish flag's flying high. Here's what happened in Race 1 a little earlier on today. MXGP Race 1. And it was Jorge Prado with the foxhole shot ever so close though between him and Maxime Renaux. Renaux was to the inside. But Renaux emerged in front and then lost the lead immediately. But a couple of corners later, he was back in front of the Spaniard. Jed Beaton went down in this corner mid-pack. And from the start, also, Jordi Tixier crashed heavily down the start straight. He would not finish the race. But this was a battle for the lead. Into the final turn, Renaux got around the outside of Prado. They were bar to bar as they hit the finish line jump. The Frenchman just muscled his way past the Spaniard. A defining moment in the race for the Frenchman. Geiser was right there behind him in third, but not for long because 4 laps later, he overjumped the step-on, step-off. Geiser was through. He then went after the race leader. Jeremy Seawer rodeoed himself out of 7th place. He re-emerged in 13th before getting back to 11th. Alberto Ferrato on the 303 found his way past Paul Jonas on his way to an eventual 7th place finish, and then Jonas ran into more problems that time around as Guadagnini carved his way through to an eventual 8th. Jonas came home in 9th. Challenge for the lead though. Maxime Renaux and Tim Geiser were pretty much wheel to wheel before Renaux started to ease clear. But Mitch Evans, who was up as high as 7th place, eventually faded to 12th. Ferrato came through, so too did Guadagnini. The Australian just hitting the wall, the heat just getting the better of him. Paul Jonas went through there, and a couple of laps later, so too did Jeremy Seawer. Valentin Guillot also made his way past the Australian on the HRC machine. That was Seawer going through. Look, Seawer eventually finished 11th. Evans was 12th, ahead of Calvin Verlandren, who fell from 13th, picked himself up in 13th. But it was a race win for the second time this year for Maxime Renaux, his 13th career race win as well. Geiser was second. Prado rounded out the top 3.
Comenzábamos a las 8 de la mañana el sábado con entrenamientos.
Let's go down to the grid. Lisa Leyland caught up with the big man, Albi Ferrato.
Donde hemos vivido impresionantes mangas también. Primera manga.
We are almost ready for the final race of today, MXGP Race 2, but let's catch up with Albi Ferrato. Albert, you were pretty strong in qualifying. How was that first race for you?
Yeah, it was good. First moto was good. I had a quite bad start, but then I had a good comeback and finished up in 7th, so pretty good. The pace was good, and tried to keep going in the second moto.
Tell us about the track here. Obviously, it's a hard-packed track. It's been ripped, it's been watered, it's now dried out. Is it more technical now at this later stage?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. It's rough, really. So it's going to be a tough moto, and it's also hot. Yeah, a bit less than before, so a bit better, and windy. But it's going to be tough for sure. Many lines, many ruts, big bumps. So just need to save a bit of energy.
And just finally, you mentioned the wind. It's picked up quite a lot throughout the day. How would that affect you on the jumps or not?
Yeah, we hope not. We hope not, for sure, because when there's a lot of wind, then it's quite sketchy at the jumps. But we hope for the best and that the wind didn't come too hard.
Best of luck. Thank you. Okay, good luck to all the guys. It's time for MXGP Race 2.
Creo que el público lo está dando también, así que solo me queda de mí dar el 100%.
Grandstands are full here into Xanadu Arroyo Molinos, ahead of MXGP Race 2. Jorge Prado third in Race 1. Here's where we've been, look, black and white, done and dusted, history. We are in Spain this weekend, 29th of May, bottom of the left page. We go to the Monster Energy MXGP of France in a week's time at Renaux before resuming this triple run of races at the Liqui-Moly MXGP of Germany at Teufelstal. So 3 in a row before we get a week off. We then head to Indonesia, we then get a week off, and then we do a double in Czech Republic and Lommel in Belgium. So a busy time heading up now. We are reaching the second half of the season. This is round 9. Take a look at the start list, shall we? Here's how the riders line up for MXGP Race 2, same as they did for Race 1. Glenn Koldenoff on pole for the second time this year. Jorge Prado will go to the line next, ahead of Maxime Renaux, Mattia Guadagnini and Jeremy Seawer. Mitch Evans will line up 6th, ahead of Ruben Fernandez, Brian Bogers, Paul Jonas and Albi Ferrato. Then we've got Tim Geiser. If you're only just joining us for the first time, you wonder what happened to Geiser. Well, he was in 5th place on the second lap. He fell down to 20th before getting back to 11th, which is why he starts from 11th on the grid. Then we've got Van Horbit, Valandren, Jacobi, Guyot, Beaton, Charlier, Osland, Paturel, Tixier, Zaragoza, Jassiconis, Lapucci, Monticelli. 30 riders going to the line in total. Glenn Koldenoff, the Monster Energy Yamaha Factory MXGP rider. Tough race for him. He's come home in 5th, started there, finished there. But what we didn't know was he had a crash on the sighting lap on the finish line jump. After that, we've got the step on, step off. He went over the handlebars, had to go to the work zone and get his bike fixed behind the gate before the gate dropped. So a tough race in Race 1 for Glenn Koldenoff. Just saw Jorge Prado. There's Maxime Renaux, the Monster Energy Yamaha Factory MXGP rider. He was your winner in Race 1 for the second time this year. Mattia Guadagnini, Red Bull Gas Factory Racing. Good ride through the field for him to get to 8th place. But yeah, Glenn Koldenoff, who crashed on the sighting lap at the end of his sighting lap in Race 1, over the bars, didn't know what happened. I was talking to one of the team members earlier, and it was just something that caught him out completely by surprise. Tim Geiser, though, second in the race. He has a very good chance of winning here this weekend. And Ruben Fernandez just having a bit of a nervous twitch there. Jeremy Seawer, relaxed as ever behind the grid. He'll be hoping to finish in 11th. Brian Bogus, standing construct for Husqvarna Factory Racing Team. Good, solid ride for the Dutchman to come home in 4th place. I mean, for those who are interested, 2020, when we first came here, Jorge Prado went 1-1. Tim Geiser went 3-2 for second overall. And Roman Febvre was third with a second and a third. When we were here last year, it was Herlings who went 3-1, Prado 2-3, Geiser 4-2. So Geiser has been on the podium twice. Fly Racing 15-second board is up for the final time today. Maxime Renaux was victorious here last year in MX2. He was the winner in race 1 earlier today. He would love to get his hands on a black Foxhole shop plate through that first turn. He would love to pick up the 25 points as well. Looked like it was a slow reaction though from the Frenchman. Will he hold a nice tight line through here like he did in race 1? Well, he will. But it may be Prado for the 9th time this year and the 2nd time today who emerges ahead of the Frenchman with Koldenhoff alongside him. And then Siwa a couple of places further back. Guadagnini in 4th. Bogas around there in 5th, 6th place. And Geiser getting shuffled to the outside here, up the bank, behind Guadagnini. Fans on their feet as Prado leads. It's the first time he's led. Koldenhoff down the inside of his teammate, takes away 2nd place from Renaux. First time of Askin as well. But Jorge Prado with one thing on his mind at the moment. Put in a hot lap here if he can. 4th place at the moment, Brian Bogas, just as he was in race 1. There he is in the blue and white in the background. The standing construct Husqvarna just ahead of the Red Bull Gas of Guadagnini. Fantastic start for the Italian. Siwa drops to the inside of him. And Geiser. But who emerges? Oh, yeah, Siwa emerges past Geiser. He was already there, though, I think. Yeah, 6th place. Renaux back into 2nd, though. Not quite. Tried to move around the outside. 2 Monstretti Yamahas flying formation side by side. And he does take the inside line away from Koldenhoff. The Frenchman now into 2nd place. But how much longer? Has to hold a tight line. Quick look over the shoulder. Mirror signal manoeuvre and all that. Oh. A little bit untidy coming out of that left though. Caught a little hole just on the face of the jump on the exit of the turn. The noise around this into Xanadu Arroyo Molinos circuit absolutely deafening when you get to that infield section. Fans in the bleachers. Bogas is 4th, Siwa 5th, Guadagnini is 6th. Geiser losing ground here. He's in 7th place, ahead of Fernandez, Jonas and Evans, with the Jerry man, Jeremy Van Horbik, in 11th place. Valandrin in 25th, they obviously went down on the opening lap. The support for Prado has been immense this weekend, just as it was previously. Maxime Renaux knows that if he stays in 2nd, he will win the Grand Prix. If Koldenhoff passes him, the Grand Prix will go to this fella. What a noise that'll be on the podium. Absolutely insane last year. Chanting his name like a football crowd. Jorge, Jorge. He'll be looking forward to that again, I'm sure. He's got to maintain his focus here, though, but when he's got a clear track, he's pretty good at just kind of disappearing off into the distance. What can Maxime Renaux do, though, to close him down? And Geiser going after Guadagnini here. This is for 6th place. The Honda rider would love to get on the podium here this weekend if he can, because Honda celebrating 50 years of CR and CRF machinery, which is why he's wearing a blue seat and slightly different gold rims on what is a retro-looking CRF 450 RW this weekend. Oh, mistake coming out of the turn. Ruben Fernandez right there for Honda 114 Motorsports. So Fernandez in 8th place. Didn't see too much of him in the first race, despite the Spaniard coming home in 6th position. But he's right behind Tim Geiser. It's Team HRC, the factory rider, between the two of them. Prado has a 2-second advantage at the moment over Maxime Renaux at the head of the field on the Red Bull Gas. There he is, sweeping through turn 5. Renaux trying to keep him honest. Maxime Renaux will win the Grand Prix on 47 with a win in a second. Prado would go 45 points with a third and a win. As long as he's on the podium and winning a race, the home support will be absolutely ecstatic with that. Koldenoff will be on the podium as well. Back-to-back podiums for Glenn Koldenoff, but he's tied on points with Brian Bogers. So which of the Dutch riders will it be that emerged on the third step? As it stands right now, Koldenoff or Bogers, well, they're separated by about 1.6 seconds at the moment. Geiser would be 5th overall as it stands right now, missing the podium for the 2nd consecutive weekend. But Prado leads Renaux and Koldenoff. We've still got 25 minutes to go, though. Heading back down the start straight. Jorge Prado into that tight left that brings him back down onto pit lane. Maxime Renaux behind him. The gap 2.5 seconds. He's just losing touch with the Spaniard, who has just gone fastest of the race so far. 1:54.7, fastest lap of the race. 1:55.3 for the Frenchman. You can see Prado just disappearing into the distance at the moment. But we'll keep an eye on those splits, though. 2.1 at the moment. Koldenoff is third, 2.8 seconds behind his teammate, just making his way towards the Monster Energy jump now. Paul Jonas under attack from Geiser. The standing construct Husqvarna hanging on. Or was that Evans, actually? It was Evans, wasn't it? Yeah, so Jonas and Evans battling over 9th place as Geiser goes after Guadagnini. That's an awkward corner. When you walk the track, it's a nice sweeping turn 5, but midway through it looks like it's going in 90 degrees, straightening up and then turning again, catching a lot of riders out. Guadagnini will be looking at 6 overall as it stands right now. 2 places better than he was in Sardinia on his MXGP debut. The rider 101 ahead of Tim Geiser here. Through that tight right, over the bitchy wave section. Looks like he's enjoying his riding again, Mattia Guadagnini. Kind of suspect that was the reason for the switch in the first place. Things weren't going to plan in MX2. Switch him up. But 22.5 minutes to go. The gap still 2.5 seconds between Prado and Renaux. Koldenoff, it's only 5.4 seconds between the first 3 riders, but very processional again at the moment in this MXGP race 2. Balander has got himself up to 18th, ahead of Zaragoza and Osland, because I think we've lost Lapucci. Prado just eases off the gas there, doesn't want to catch those little holes on the exit of the turn. The gap between Jorge Prado and Maxime Renaux now 2.7 seconds. Similar lap times between the Spaniard and the Frenchman at the end of lap 4. We're now on lap 5. Spanish fans all around this racetrack cheering his every move. Jorge Prado, the Red Bull gas rider, just up on the pegs. Look how deep those ruts are, though. Absolutely insane. You have to stand up through those ruts because there's no way you can sit down and get your leg high enough. He can, but it's just uncomfortable. He lost his leg through here, didn't he, in race 1, through those ruts. The left leg just slipped off the foot peg, caught the top of a rut. Lucky to save it. But the track a lot drier than it was in race 1. Windy too. Not sure how much of a difference that's making though this time around. But you see the top riders in MXGP, a lot of them on the pegs all of the time, letting the front and the rear end, specifically the rear end, do all the work, soaking everything up. Five laps complete and a fastest lap of the race once again for the race leader. But that's how the podium would be as it stands right now. Claudio De Carli just going, yeah, just, you know, keep it flowing, keep it smooth. That was the hand signal there from the boss. .154.6, 155.5. It was 5 seconds a moment ago. It's back down to 4 seconds between Renaux because sector 1, or has it gone out again? Yeah, 28.7, 29.3. So it's increasing every time, isn't it, at the moment? Renaux, though, has got a comfortable gap behind him. Can't afford to switch off and relax. Great scenes here at Into Xanadu Arroyo Molinos. Maxime Renaux, second in the race, but he's in command of this overall Grand Prix classification. He was your... Whoa, has he gone down? Prado's down. Prado down at the top of the hill. He's tipped over and he's doubled in. He's facing the wrong way, and it's all gone quiet over there. He picks himself up, doesn't know where he is, but he rejoins the race, and that may just knock him off the podium. We'll have to wait and see where he re-emerges. But Maxime Renaux is now your new race leader on lap 6. Prado had just set the fastest lap of the race. He was 4 seconds clear. He was dancing to his own tune. He's re-emerged in 8th place. Maxime Renaux leads the way. I hope we have a ground camera shot of that to see exactly what happened, because our moon cam there, our drone cam, you just see like an ant just come to a stop. Here we go. Here's what happened to Prado a moment ago. He steps up. Watch this. Oh, the back end just broke out when he landed and then bit traction and threw him over the bars. So that changes the complexion of this Grand Prix. Renaux looking at 1-1 at the moment. Koldenhoff looking to make it a Yamaha 1-2. He's tied on points still with Brian Bogus. They're both on 38. It's going to be 5-2 for Koldenhoff and Bogus at 4-3. Then Geiser would be 4th, and then Prado would be 5th overall as it stands right now. We still have 18 minutes to go, though. Prado is 4 points off the podium as it stands. So, what's that? 18, 16, 15, 14. Still got some positions to make up. This is where he fell. Just doubled in. Back end misbehaved when he landed. We'll get him a lap time this time around, because obviously the last one don't count. Cost him a bit of time, didn't it? 2:16.6. Race leader's doing 1:57s, and it was a 1:54 for him the lap before, so decent amount of time lost there, but crucially, he's thrown away the race lead, a shot at 25 points. And a chance of a podium, quite possibly as well. There's Guadagnini and Geiser, these two 5th and 6th. How far is Prado behind? 3 seconds. There he is. He may have a bit of an advantage here, that Tim Geiser's still not 100%. He was sick in Sardinia, you remember. We didn't find out until afterwards. He's only been on the bike once before this Grand Prix, and that was on Tuesday or Wednesday, just to see how he felt. Still not 100% this weekend either. But Ruben Fernandez just there, a shadow behind the 61, who all of a sudden has got to dig deep if he wants to make the podium now. Valentin Guillot has found his way past the Jerryman, moves himself up into 11th place mountain track. So Valentin Guillot, who was 10th in race 1, solid Grand Prix for the Swiss rider. Ruben Fernandez, Honda 114. Mitch Evans behind him. Team HRC, probably enjoying the slightly cooler conditions. Now the Australian. Fernandez just a little bit laboured through that turn. Wonder how much of a carrot that is for Fernandez. Would love to be the lead Spaniard in this race, wouldn't he? But sure, Prado will make it difficult for him to find a way past. Gap between Geiser and Prado still 3.2. not making any inroads to the Slovenian at the moment. So dramatic finale then to this MXGP of Spain here. As Jorge Prado still urged on. There is the boss man, Decali, but Renaux still leads by 3 seconds over his teammate. "15 minutes to go. Jorge Prado still circulating in 7th place. He must have found his way past Fernandez, actually, because he got up in 8th, didn't he? Initially. Quick pop of the clutch there as he comes into land over that little pyramid jump before the finish line. Gets himself into there, but wonder where his headspace is at right now. 1 minute leading, next minute on the floor. Down in 8th, up to 7th. Home Grand Prix. Fans still cheering his every move, but going from a possible race win, his 3rd around this circuit. Not an easy racetrack though to navigate, is it? It can just bite. Just the nature of the ground. That clay, that dirt starts to dry out, catch an edge. What's his gap between him and Geiser? 2.7, so it is coming down. Coming down ever so slightly. Took 6/10 out of him on the lap time last time around. 29.0s, identical splits, but then Geiser takes half a second in sector 2. Mattia Guadagnini closing in on Jeremy Seewer. Geiser closing in on Guadagnini as well. So Geiser in 6th place at the moment. Guadagnini, the 101, in 5th position. 8th in race 1. This will be his best finish in MXGP for the Italian. "13 minutes plus 2 laps remain. MXGP race 2 here. It's round 9 of the FIA Motocross World Championship, the MXGP of Spain into Xanadu Arroyo Molinos. Maxime Renaux continues to lead. He's got a 3-second advantage over his Monster Energy Yamaha teammate Glenn Coldenhoff. Brian Boger's about 6.5 seconds behind him in 3rd for standing construct Husqvarna. And that 3rd place, in fact those top 3 places, Renaux, Coldenhoff and Boger's, will mirror the podium. Renaux in control at the moment, 50 points. Coldenhoff and Boger's, though, they're tied for 2nd on 38. Jeremy Seewer sits 4th in the race, Guadagnini 5th, and Geiser here, 2:43 for Team HRC. He is in 6th place. Didn't make a good start. He's failed to make any kind of inroads, really. That 6th place really as a result of former race leader Jorge Prado making a mistake whilst leading a few laps ago. Prado, though, 2 seconds adrift of the World Championship leader. Maxime Renaux would take 50 points, Geiser would take 37, so it'd be a 13-point gain for Maxime Renaux in the championship. He sits 2nd, remember, behind Tim Geiser. Where is Albi Ferrato? Haven't seen too much of him. He's in 12th place. Guadagnini will be pleased with this. Holding a top 5 position in the MXGP class. It's only his 2nd performance, his 2nd ride in the Premier class. Obviously enjoys riding the 450. He's got a 4-time world champion behind him. 3 of those coming in the Premier class, of course, for Tim Geiser. Again, twice. He's just caught a little edge there, Geiser, on that small little double. Just forced the back end to swing left a little bit. Maxime Renaux, fastest sector 1 of the race last time around, 28.4. And he continues to extend his lead, 4.5 seconds. Maxime Renaux, already a race winner. Race 1 in Argentina. This year, been on the podium 4 times, 3 of those in 2nd position, 1 of those in 3rd. But he's not been a 1-1 winner in MXGP yet. This was Prado. Look at that, top of your screen. Just caught the back end. It broke away when he landed. Tipped him over the bars. And I tell you what, he probably would have face planted those hard ruts as well when he came into land. Prado still circulating in 7th position. Ruben Fernandez behind him. Honda 114 keeping him very honest indeed. But just starting to lose touch with Tim Geiser. Geiser just in the splits this time around. 29.2, pretty much even Steven there, but 29.8, 30.1, sector 2. Sector 3 is halfway along this next straight after the triple, that next single. So Geiser hits it 26.3, Prado 26.4. And the gap between them now, 2.5 seconds. Did all the hard work at the beginning. Just over 9 minutes to go. Glenn Coldenhoff here. 2nd position at the moment in the race. 5.6 seconds behind his teammate. Maxime Renaux, who continues to lead. He's already halfway down past pit lane. A solid performance for the Hoff. Got his first podium in Sardinia 2 weeks ago, round 8. You know what they say about podiums, they're like busters. You wait years for one to come along and all of a sudden 2 come at once. Back-to-back podiums and it'll be a Yamaha 1-2. Cruising downhill. What's the gap between him and Bogas? 12 seconds. Bogas has about 3 seconds in hand as well, doesn't he? Sorry. 6 seconds Bogas is back. And then 3 behind him is Jeremy Seewer. Here is Jeremy Seewer. Won't be on the podium, it was 7th overall for him, but Brian Bogas, the standing construct Husqvarna, comes into land. 4th in race 1, 3rd in race 2, going to be 3rd overall. John Vandenberg, father-in-law, if you like, on the right-hand side, 2-time world champion. He was back-to-back in, 87, 88, in the 125 and 250 division for Yamaha. Fantastic era as well, that was. But he's looked steady, he's looked comfortable. Really making a mark on the championship this year. He's 7th at the moment. He was 8 points behind Ruben Fernandez. He will move to 6th place in the championship, 2 clear of the Spaniard. His teammate Paul Jonas in 10th position will hang on to 8th place overall in the standings. So will be Bogas 6th, Jonas 8th, split by Fernandez. Just under 7 minutes to go. Here's Tim Geiser, the World Championship leader. Still trying to find his way past Mattia Guadagnini. What's the gap between him and Prado? Yeah, still hovering around about 2.5 seconds-ish. Gnarly wave section there, especially when you go down the middle, because those ruts have been thick mud and then they've dried, so see why riders are going left or right. Gap would be down to 66 points between Geiser and Renaux. But Geiser, 37 points at the moment. Would need 2 positions if he's to find his way onto the podium, because 8 is 25, 22, 20, 18 for 4th, 16, 15. So passing Guadagnini would only give him 1 point. Bottom corner. But Renaux leads the way. So the podium then would look like that. Maxime Renaux on 50, Koldenhoff 38, Bogus 38, Geiser 37, Prado 34. And since Prado's crashed, you can see a lot of the grandstands now have emptied rapidly. They were hoping for a home race win. They wanted to see him on the podium. He's going to be 5th overall at his home round, having been a winner and 2nd place in the last 2 years. Just a slight mistake when he came into land. Everything looked like he was in control. He just set the fastest lap of the race. Didn't look like he was flustered in any way. But just goes to show how easily a mistake can happen. Was it just a loss in concentration? Probably not. Was it just offline? Possibly. Was it just unlucky that he may have landed an inch offline, and that was the difference between all the previous laps? But 4.5 minutes plus 2 still to run here. Still trying to claw his way back, but looks like he's losing even more time. There he is now, 4.6. So Prado doesn't look like he's going to advance any further than 7th, and lost a couple seconds, 2.5 seconds on that lap. So Ruben Fernandez at 1:58.6, he'll still try to push, because here he is just behind. Well, this is Guadagnini and Geiser, but they are, okay, 2.2 seconds apart, Prado and Fernandez. So it doesn't look like Fernandez is going to find his way past either. Kevin Villano, meanwhile, back into 13th, so 13th in race 1. He's up to 13th in race 2, having just found his way by Jordi Tixier. Franz Van Donnick is in 15th place for Riley Racing Yamaha. Then we've got Monticelli, Jed Beaton on the F&H Kawasaki, Jacoby on the JM Racing Honda, Paturel, Ship to Cycle, Honda SR Motor Blues Machine, and then Ostland. And all of a sudden, a 2-second gap is down to nothing as Prado is being caught by Ruben Fernandez. So the Red Bull Gas getting caught by the Honda 114 rider. And I think the next 3 minutes are going to be quite interesting if you're a Spanish fan. 3 minutes plus 2 laps to go. A 2-second deficit has been bridged by Ruben Fernandez as he goes after Jorge Prado. This is the battle for 7th place. Prado detuned from his fall from the lead, and Fernandez, buoyed by the fact that he can find his way past the rider that's been getting all the attention here this weekend. Can he find a way through though, or will the 61 just prove to be the roadblock and not let him through? Going to be a big few laps here for these two. Maxime Renaux continues to lead by 5.959 seconds, ironically, over Glenn Koldenhoff. And then Bogus 3rd, Seawer 4th, Guadagnini and Geiser still fighting over 5th place, but all eyes around this circuit will be on this battle between Jorge Prado and Ruben Fernandez. Another immaculate ride for Maxime Renaux. He has just been absolutely perfect, but this one, which way will it go? Where are you going to put your money? Well, Ruben Fernandez definitely looks like he's more than interested in finding his way past Jorge Prado. All of a sudden, Prado wish he had a very wide gas. Too much hang time there for the 61. Fernandez is going to dive down the inside. He's going to take over 7th position, and he does. Fernandez up to 7th. And that went down well with some members of the crowd. Of course, Spain, quite a big country, so they will have their own fans. But already, Ruben Fernandez then up to 7th place. And he's absolutely just broken the resolve of Jorge Prado, but that has just detuned him from that crash. And Evans may also find a way through. last time around. The lap time for Jorge Prado, a 2 minutes, 0.6. Fernandez was a 1:57.5. Evans a 58.7. And Jonas a 58.5 as well. They're only, what, 3 and 4 seconds behind. So we said it would be a big lap or two, a big few laps between Prado and Fernandez. Fernandez has gone through as Guadagnini continues to hold off Tim Geiser in that 5th place. Maxime Renaux, incidentally, only got 1 double race win last year. That was in Latvia on his way to the World Championship crown in MX2. It'll be his first double race win since then. It'll be his first GP win in MXGP. And he'll take a whole bunch of points out of Tim Geiser's advantage as well. 2 to go for Maxime Renaux. The Montrenity Yamaha rider has been immaculate today. Quickly to the front in race 1. But race 2, he was right there when he needed to be when Prado crashed, and he capitalized on that mistake from the race leader. But as they say, you've got to be in it to win it. He was perfectly placed, just a few seconds back, so not getting caught up in the carnage. Brian Boger's a fantastic performance from the rider from the Netherlands. The standing construct Husqvarna factory rider has looked very, very solid on these hard, slick conditions. Brian Boger's, his last podium, or his first one this year, but his last as well, was Portugal. Yes, a sandy base, but it was very, very hard underneath as well. So, got a baby on the way in the not too distant future either, when we're probably in and around Indonesia, one of the rounds that we obviously once been cancelled. But Jorge Prado under attack now from Mitch Evans. This is for 8th place. And Evans goes through, or does it? Not quite. Prado closes the door on him. The Australian tries to come back again though. So the penultimate lap for Jorge Prado. Under pressure from Mitch Evans. Evans looking at 8th place. But the body language and everything from Prado, not what it was at the start of the race. Understandable, really, but heading into the final lap, Maxime Renaux takes the 1 lap board. Hardy Roussior just coming into land there, the number 75, just outside of the points for Sarkar Racing KTM. Glenn Koldenoff has also been solid this weekend, on course for 2nd for what will be a Yamaha 1-2 this weekend in Spain. Wasn't able to stay with his teammate when he went through. But Glenn Koldenoff, he will be pleased with this. Back-to-back podiums, 3rd overall Sardinia, 2nd overall here in Spain. Meanwhile, Paul Jonas has found his way past Prado, and Evans has also gone through. So Evans and Evans and Jonas, and now Valentin Guillot. Oh, talk about closing down the door. That was naughty. Put the squeeze on Guillot at the end of a fast wave section on takeoff. But losing 2 positions in that lap. So Evans, Jonas, both going by Prado. Prado now in 10th place at the moment. Valentin Guillot lining up an opportunity if he can. He's hard on the gas. Cuts to the inside. Prado, no reply. Guillot didn't give him much room to work in either. So down to 11th then. But Maxime Renaux, it's his mum's birthday on Monday. What do you want, Mum? I want the Foxhole Shot black plate. He came close in race 1, but guess what, Mum? You've just got a double race win from Maxime Renaux, who wins the MXGP of Spain. He goes 1-1 to take his first Grand Prix victory in the Premier class. And everybody there, and it's a Monster Energy Yamaha 1-2. Glenn Coldenoff second overall. Brian Boger's standing construct. Husqvarna Factory Racing crosses the line in third. A different podium today then, once again in MXGP. Maxime Renaux absolutely ecstatic. And it's just been reminded actually that if he wins, his mechanic, and if he goes 1-1 as Manu Valparto there and Kenny Van Duren, one of the trainers for the Yamaha riders, if Maxime Renaux wins a Grand Prix, not just wins a Grand Prix, he wins, got 1-1, his mechanic has to shave his hair off, Valentin, so we can be asked about that, Maxime.
Maxime Renaux, congratulations, your very first MXGP victory. You did it in style by going 1-1. Looks like your mechanic's going to have no hair.
Yeah, no hair, no mustache for Joao also from Monza. And I have some bet also, so coming on the podium, watch out because I'm going to breakdance a little bit. It felt so good. Double moto win also, so it's really good. I'm really happy and thankful also for the team. So thanks to everybody, and yeah, home GP next week.
Great job.
Maxime Renaux, Monster Energy Yamaha Factory Racing MXGP, stands on the top step of the podium this weekend with a perfect score, 2 wins out of 2. And it could not come at a better time. The Monster Energy MXGP of France just a week away at Renaux. But what a day for him to remember. His first race win, he goes and backs it up with a double race win, his first Grand Prix victory in the Premier class. And he does it here in Spain. Give you the official confirmation then for MXGP Race 2 here in Spain. Maxime Renaux and Glenn Coldenoff, Monster Energy Yamahas 1 and 2, head of the standing construct Husqvarna, Brian Bogers. Seawer was 4th, Guadagnini 5th for Red Bull Gas. Then we've got Geiser for HRC, Fernandez, Honda 114, and Evans and Jonas, Valentin Guillot, IXS, Hostetler, Yamaha. Prado faded to 11th in the end. Ferrato 12, Blandren, Monticelli, Jacobi, Tixier, Beaton, Paturel, Osland, and Van Donnick.
De toda la afición a la que le queremos dar las gracias por acudir un año más a este gran.
Maxime Renaux takes his first Grand Prix victory in MXGP with a double race win here in Spain. Glenn Coldenoff makes it a Yamaha 1-2, and Boger's back on the podium in 3rd. Tim Geiser 4th. Prado rounds out the top 5. Disappointing finish for his Grand Prix here in Spain. Overall, the championship looks like this then. Maxime Renaux taking 13 points out of Tim Geiser's lead. They stay 1st and 2nd in the championship. Brian Bogers, though, moves up to 6th position after his podium here today. Gavin Blandren remains 9th, and Jeremy Van Hoorbeek loses a couple of places today. Not been a great Grand Prix for the Beta SDM Corsa rider. Manufacturers' Championship looks like this. Honda 409. Yamaha still within touching distance on 393. Kawasaki move ahead of KTM. They must have been the points from Jed Beaton then. That's the view of the track from above. Let's take a look at the Foxhole Shot. This happened right at the start of the race. And it was Jorge Prado for the 2nd time today, and his 9th of the season. Could have been so much different had that mistake not happened. Like I said, it's just one of those things maybe. But Jorge Prado on 9, Jacobi on 3, Geiser on 2. Other riders are in there as well with 1 each. So the podium then will be witnessed by a whole array of Spanish fans. There's some Geiser fans in there as well. Look, the Slovenian flags are 2, 4, 3 flags. But I'm sure there's some French people in there as well. And some Dutch, because we've got a Frenchman and 2 Dutchies on the top steps of the podium here this weekend, round 9. Brian Bogers, standing construct. Husqvarna Factory Racing back on the podium for the first time since Portugal. 3rd place for the Dutchman, a 4th and a 3rd in the races today for him. Congratulations, Brian Bogers. Glenn Koldenhoff, back-to-back podiums now. 2nd overall this weekend for the Monster Energy Yamaha rider. A 5th and a 2nd. Maxime Renaux, Monster Energy Yamaha, Factory MXGP, makes it a Yamaha 1-2. Proud mum and dad right there, look. Only the 2nd time in his career that he did it. He did it once last year in Latvia in MX2 on his way to the championship. And Louis Voster's team owner will have the biggest smile on his face today, I'm sure. 2 of his riders, 1st and 2nd here this weekend. Anna Milan, the mayor of Arroyo Molinos, handing the 3rd place trophy to Brian Bogers. Thank you, Miss Milan, for letting us use this wonderful region to host the Grand Prix. Second overall for Glenn Koldenhoff, Alexis Martin from Into. Proud girlfriend looking on their fiance. But for the overall winner, Maxime Renaux, a week ahead of the Monster Energy MXGP of France at Ernée in a week's time, his home Grand Prix. No better place than to take your first Grand Prix victory. Alberto Tomé handing him the winner's trophy. All smiles over there in the blue corner. And for Louis Voster's the team trophy here this weekend. Yamaha not just taking the top step, but the first 2 places here in Spain. But Tim Geiser didn't make the podium for the 2nd successive Grand Prix. Sardinia in here, but he does maintain his championship lead. See, it's been a tough GP for him. Still not fully recovered, but Tim Geiser finishing the Grand Prix here this weekend. 4th overall, 1 point shy of the podium. Antonio Alia Portela, the FIM CMS director, on hand as always to deliver him his red plate. He continues to lead the championship as we head to round 10 in France. Maxime Renaux, Glenn Koldenhoff and Brian Bogers, your top 3 here in Spain. Bravo. Maxime Renaux, Glenn Koldenhoff and Brian Bogers celebrate on the top step of the podium, but winning national anthem for Japan and Yamaha. Maxim Renaux, Monster Energy Yamaha, his teammate Glenn Koldenoff, and standing construct Husqvarna Factory Racing's Brian Bogers celebrate on the top steps of the podium here this weekend. Round 9, the MXGP of Spain at Into Xanadu Arroyo Molinos. We will talk to the top 3 in just a few moments. Before that, though, here's the highlights of the race. MXGP Race 2 burst into life then, and it was Jorge Prado who grabbed his foxhole shot for the second time today. Prado led through the first couple of corners, but he was harassed by Glenn Koldenoff and Maxim Renaux. Renaux ran the outside of his teammate. Guadagnini was in there, so too Brian Bogers into 4th. Seaward not too far back either, as Renaux charged down the inside and ran the outside. He got the better of his teammate just after the finish line to move into 2nd. He then set his sights on Jorge Prado, but Prado had other ideas. He started to pull clear, urged on by the partisan crowd. He just set the fastest lap, and then this happened, top of your screen. A 4-second advantage just flitted away. It cost him a lot of time as well. Renaux had to go over the ruts to avoid him. He picked himself up in 8th place. He quickly got back to 7th, but later on in the race, his race really started to fall apart. Eventually faded back to 11th. Brian Bogers, though, he was in 3rd, and he was solid in 3rd as well. Meanwhile, Tim Geiser was parked just behind Guadagnini. These two fighting over 5th place. And then, as the later stages drew in, Ruben Fernandez got the better of Prado, whose head had just sunken. Fernandez was through into 7th. That's where he stayed. Jonas had also gone through in Evans, and also Valentin Guillot to push Prado down to 11th. But Maxim Renaux went 1-1 to take the overall Grand Prix win here in Spain. Good job, Maxim Renaux.
Maxim Renaux, congratulations, 1-1 to get your first MXGP overall victory. Great first race. You're right where you needed to be in that second race when Prado went down. Perfect confidence boost before your home GP next weekend.
Yeah, sure, it was just a great weekend, you know. 2 good starts, 2 consistent moto, 1-1, my first 1-1 in MXGP, my first overall. Yeah, I'm speechless, it's just amazing, I'm really happy. I want to thank everybody around me, my team, my parents, Yamaha. They really put a great effort, and yeah, now we're here today, so we keep building, and next week I'm really waiting for you fans in France.
Okay, thank you. Second overall today, we have Glenn Koldenoff. Glenn, you've made it a 1-2 for Yamaha. Fantastic back-to-back podiums for you on 2 totally different tracks. You're looking and you're feeling good, clearly.
Yeah, definitely, you know, was a good weekend again. But I have to say, in the sighting lap before first moto, I made a huge crash, and first moto was really, really tough for me. But the guys here at Yamaha, they fixed me up, and I was ready for the second one. Obviously, it was tough again, but, you know, great for the team, 1-2. So, yeah. Thanks to the team, they did a great job, and yeah, we'll go from here.
Great job, thanks Glenn. Third overall today, we have Brian Bogers. Brian, a 3rd and a 4th. It's nice to see you back on the podium, second podium of the year. Just a really solid weekend.
Yeah, exactly what you said. It was a solid weekend. It's not like I had really good results. So 4 and 3 for the podium. Yeah, anyway, I will take it, you know, anytime. But no, today the luck was on my side, and yeah, this is what the team deserves, you know. I'm very happy for them, and also for my riding again. It's very, very nice to be back on the podium.
Great job, thanks Brian.
Brian Bogers, standing construct Husqvarna Factory Racing. 3rd overall here in Spain, his 2nd podium of the season. Tim Matthijs at home will be more than happy, I'm sure. But to do it here in Spain on the hard pack, even more impressive. He'll look forward to France, I'm sure, in a week's time. Glenn Koldenoff. We mentioned it right at the start of the race that he crashed on that sighting lap right at the end, so didn't have too much time to get the bike and himself straightened out, but he recovered well to come home 2nd behind his teammate here in race 2 to get 2nd overall this weekend. And Maxim Renaux, the Monster Energy Yamaha 1-2. Perfect day for Maxim Renaux. 2 race wins, his first in MXGP. And he wins here in Spain. His 25th career podium, his 7th Grand Prix victory. 14 race wins now for the Frenchman. The overall winner here at the MXGP of Spain. And we are almost out of time. And so from that I'll say goodbye. We'll see you in a week's time. When we return, it will be the Monster Energy MXGP of France at Renaux. So from a very noisy Spain, thanks for watching. We'll see you then. Bye for now.